Pineal Stories is intended for information and educational purposes only. The content shared on this podcast should not be taken as medical advice. We aim to raise awareness and foster thoughtful discussion around symptomatic pineal cysts. We are not providing medical guidance or diagnosis. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional regarding any medical concerns or decisions. Every individual situation is unique, and only your doctor can help you determine the best course of action for your health. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us again. Today we have a two-part episode. Emily, whom you remember from several weeks ago, we interviewed her before her surgery. And then we interviewed her immediately after surgery. And so you'll hear parts of that first. And then we told them, whenever she's all better, let us know and would love to have her back on. Well, it was a very fast turnaround, as you will hear. Just incredible. And so we've just taken both of those and put them together, and here we go. Okay, so the first thing I got to ask you right after the surgery is, would you do it again?
Like, do I feel that it's worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I woke up, so just to get like day by day perspective, first day, like when we got there, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, anxious, whatever. I kind of like, because I was so anxious about everything, I didn't remember anything that was really going on or processed any of it. Met some of the doctors that were going to be in the room with me, which was cool, but it was just a lot to take in at once. And then I woke up in the recovery room after that, because they put like the IVs in and put some anesthesia in, took me to the OR, which was cool to see them like setting it up and stuff. And then they were trying to talk to me, and then I passed out in the recovery room.
So you didn't even have to they didn't even have to tell you to count down, did they?
No, I didn't get
You
to
were already.
No. So that when I woke up, I was so confused because we were in like, it was kind of like, the recovery room was pretty small and stuff, and I woke up with my mom next to me, which was nice, and she's like, "Hi." And what did I say? The first thing out of my mouth was,
"I love you, you're so perfect."
Yeah, "I love you, you're so perfect."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet.
And I was like, "My scar is so cool. You want to see it?"
You're an official member of the Zipperhead Club.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was obsessed with like saying, "I'm so cool, you're," like, all that stuff. And then I
That's
wasn't
awesome.
awake for that long, and I don't really remember a lot of it for day one. That's the most I
Yeah.
kind of remember. Day two, I was feeling great. I was a lot more awake, still doped up as all get out, but I was so happy. Like, the amount of joy that I was feeling, like I never felt like that before.
Aw,
It was like life-changing.
awesome.
So that was, and the pain, like, of course it was painful. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was one of the most painful thing I've been through.
Mhm.
But it wasn't that bad at that point, because the meds are still like in me and stuff like that, and they're waking me up every few hours to take more meds and stuff. But day three was when it got pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because up until this point, like, I've been on the scale of like 4 to 5 on pain scale, nothing too horrible. And then like out of nowhere, day three, I woke up with like a level 7 of pain, and
Yeah.
it was awful. And I was like, okay, well, this is probably the worst it's gonna get. No, I was wrong. The next day was 1,000 times worse. I couldn't even put it on the chart, like. So then, I'm like screaming, at this point. So this is now day 4 when I first wake up, and I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm bawling my eyes out, like spamming the call button, like I need somebody now. Because I never felt that kind of pain before, and it came out of like nowhere. Like I just woke up and it was horrendous.
Yeah.
And so they they rushed me to get a CAT scan done. And the night before they had like the little EEGs like on my head to monitor just to make sure no seizure activity or anything. Because I had some blurry vision. It was on and off, but nothing severe to be worried about or anything. So then they're rushing me to get a CAT scan, and the hallway lights are so bright. I'm like, I have my eyes closed. I have multiple masks on so I can like cover it. But now I'm like nauseous from moving around all of a sudden. And then, of course, to get a CAT scan done, your head has to go in. So you're laying fully down. This was the first time I laid
Yes.
fully down in days. Oh my God, was the pain horrible.
The pressure.
Horrible.
I can imagine.
And like it felt a lot longer than it probably was. But it was horrible. So then when I sat up, I puked a little, I'm not gonna lie. It was just so much to handle. And then finally, like some meds were starting to kick in and it was helping. But that was the worst pain I've ever had. Ever.
But by night you were better.
But
It
yeah,
kind
by
of
by nighttime I was like level 2 of pain. Like it
that's
quickly
good.
went down.
So the CAT scan, that was just to make sure there weren't any
Complication.
Yeah. So everything came back normal. Everything was
Right.
normal.
I was gonna say that makes sense because I think that's about 72 hours is kind of when most of the anesthesia has finally metabolized. And so now it's like your body is getting hit with the real pain of it because that anesthesia, even though you're awake and you wake up from it, it lasts for a little while. And then once that's gone, that's one thing that Michael was good about helping me with staying on top of it.
Yeah.
Because you can get this false sense of, oh, I'm not feeling that bad, but no, maybe go ahead and let's take your pain medicine anyway.
Yeah, that's how
Maybe let's just stay on top of that. Maybe because I even remember telling him a couple of times, like, I don't think I need to take a dose right now. And he would be like, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And they didn't tell me, I think at night like 2 or 3, they stopped waking me up for the meds. And nobody told me that they were gonna start doing that. So then I went hours without pain meds.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, that was awful. After we
Oh,
figured out I have to ask, I was like, okay, we're on top of that now. But
yeah.
I'm really glad you said that because we're not here to cheerlead, go get brain surgery. It's, parts of this suck. It's a lot of pain and it's a lot of difficulty, and you have to really be to that point and that much need to make it worth it. And
yeah.
Yeah. Your family can really tell too when you're not yourself. And I love though that you had that moment of joy there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I was telling Michael, like, it's like something you can't explain, but has changed for the better. It's like that je ne sais quoi, that X factor, that it thing that you don't know what it is. But I kind of felt that too, almost immediately when I woke up. So that's
Yeah, I agree.
awesome.
You can't really like explain like what you're going through to people without them actually going through it themselves.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, my brain was just cut open and demolished on the inside, which doesn't feel great. And it'll never be normal again. But like there's a sense of relief that like I just did that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it like, yeah, I was like drugged up and stuff, which probably was helping, but it's still like the moment of like realization, like this is over. Like
Yes.
I'm finally gonna get relief now, and you already feel something. You just
Mhm.
can't really put your finger on it.
Well, I was hoping that's how you would feel, and that's
Hmm.
awesome. I'm very,
Yeah,
very happy for you, and
thank you.
just don't get discouraged when you're on that roller coaster of
Hmm.
recovering, because yeah, it is major surgery, and there
Hmm.
still will be some some ups and downs with it, but it's like on one of those graphs, where you see the point go down and then go back up, but it should trend up. You'll still have some dips
Hmm.
here and there, but it sounds like your recovery is pretty much going normal for the most part, and that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
for
And
sure.
did y'all say you're somewhere near the ocean for recovery?
Yeah, we're
That's
roughly
cool.
30 minutes away.
Very cool.
Yeah,
And
so
so when do y'all have to go back for your follow-up, for your next follow-up?
we go this Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if we told y'all. Did we tell them, or did we find out after we talked to them about who's coming next week, or who? We on the 17th is when we will be meeting with Dr. Patel and his
And Jared
Good.
and
next.
his PA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to be on the podcast, and that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
So by the time people hear this, because this will be attached to the beginning of your second episode.
Mhm.
So what we recorded before was episode 1. This is the beginning of episode 2, and then maybe in a couple of months when you're recovered and feeling better and all, you'll follow up, and that'll be the rest of episode 2. But by the time people hear it, they will have already heard from him. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, anything else? Any like aha moments otherwise?
Um, I'm a lot more talkative. I found I'm like out of my shell a bit more, and I don't know, like I don't know why, but maybe it's the feeling of, man, I just had brain surgery. I can do anything or
Sure.
whatever.
I suspect that people will find out what, because we did. We found out what things were symptoms of this
Hmm.
because those things went away,
Hmm.
and so they have been around for years.
The worst
Uh,
symptoms, yeah,
well, the worst
are
of them,
definitely from
but
this.
even speech pattern, Kelly's speech pattern changed the day that she got the surgery because it had gone from very flowing and fluid um, to kind of speaking in blocks.
Hmm.
And I've noticed when I look at these episodes and um, in my DAW that when a person who has not yet had the surgery is speaking, a lot of times it'll show up in those blocks. So there's this thought, a gap, a thought, a gap. It's
Hmm.
really interesting that that's the
Weird.
way that she spoke for a while. Right after the surgery, back to flowing. So,
That's
Yeah.
really
so I think
interesting.
there's some little things there that people don't realize are happening because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. And you live with it for so long that
Sure.
you forget like what is normal, what's not, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the waveform, it doesn't lie. You can just look at what the audio
It is.
looks like.
It's a weird, interesting visual interpretation. Yeah, because you can see.
Mhm.
And I thought about editing it. At first, I was going to edit and take out the little spaces, to make the podcast go a little bit quicker. But then I realized, wait, no, that's a terrible idea because
Yeah.
we're demonstrating to surgeons and tumor boards, that
Mhm.
this is something that should be taken more seriously. And
Mhm.
I think that any little thing like that we can show, hey, there's real
Right.
things happening here. And besides the excruciating pain and difficulty and the delusions and all the stuff that goes along with it, regular day-to-day stuff that gets impacted,
Mm-hmm.
including the way you
Mhm.
speak. So,
So both mental and physical symptoms that go along with it, that's
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
really
you've had brain surgery. You can do anything now.
Yeah.
When I before I had brain surgery, I've always been a very nervous flyer.
Mhm.
Just panic attacky almost. Like I had to almost be forced onto a plane because I hated it so much.
Mhm.
And now that doesn't bother me or scare me at all. So I don't know if it was a result of going through that or what, but yeah, you went through
Yeah.
brain surgery. You got the rest of whatever comes at you.
It'll be interesting to see because we have like there's multiple follow-up appointments and like MRIs and stuff. I think it's in September. And we're gonna fly then.
Back in.
Yeah, back here. Um, so before every time I flew, I would get migraines for 3 days. Like 3 days straight of just migraines. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see if with the traveling again, if it's gonna be the same or not. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's not. I don't My guess is that it won't be super bad anymore, but
I bet you, yeah.
With the aqueducts not being pinched closed
I
like
bet
they
you
would
it
have been
won't.
previously, I bet it's a lot
Because
better.
that
yeah,
pressure change when you have that in your brain,
right.
being up so high in a plane. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I was just going to say, we don't want to keep you too long. We want you to
No,
keep
you're
on your road to
recovering.
recovery. So,
Yeah.
Keep resting and keep getting better. It was so nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
And mom, how's mom doing? How are you on
Mom
surgery
is
day?
holding up.
Yeah.
Mom is holding up. Mom is relieved it's over.
Yeah.
I still think mom needs to cry some, but
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of built up tension and scariness, and to see your kid go, it's the one time that you feel so helpless to see your
Mhm.
kid go through something like that. But every day is a good day and we keep moving forward. So
Speaking from a little bit of experience, a big empty beach late in the evening, nobody around, walk out into the water and scream at the ocean. It's a good listener.
I will take you up on that because that is my happy place, is the ocean. So I may have to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
All
sure.
right, y'all.
Well,
Thank you so much for giving us this follow up, because it'll be really, I think it'll be very interesting once we get around to the rest of this episode in a few months to see the
yeah.
Yes.
differences. So
Well,
that's good.
great.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep feeling better.
Hey, keep in touch. We want to keep getting texts about, recovery
Yeah.
process as we
Keep us
go.
informed. Let us
So,
know how
Yeah,
it's
for
going
sure.
and
yeah.
For
All right.
sure.
Take care, y'all.
Take
bye.
care.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And now the rest of Emily's second episode. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming back. Today, we're doing the big follow-up with Emily. And I kind of thought we were going to be doing this a month from now, but they contacted us and said, we're ready. Your surgery was 20 days ago, right?
Yes.
That is just so crazy fast. I can't believe we're doing this fast. So, how are you feeling?
Overall really good. I think I'm one of the lucky few that really had no complications. Um,
Wonderful.
so it's just like I'm experiencing everything for the first time again.
Hmm.
I think that's the best way to describe it. So,
Like what? Give us something. What's new?
processing my emotions is completely different.
Uh-huh.
Like before, I was always so like angry and like upset, and now like I have a lot more empathy for people. Um, Food is different for me. Like the best way for me to describe it is that like my sensory issues like has always elevated every part of my life, and since surgery everything's a lot more dull for me.
Hmm.
So like loud noises no longer bother me. different food textures don't bother me. It's just like everything's toned down.
Okay. Now, people think dull bad, but in this case,
Sounds like she means it in a good way.
dull good?
Yeah. Yeah. Like everything was always so much for me,
Uh-huh.
and now it's like a normal person processing like regular things.
Would manageable be a good word there?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's very cool. All right. So, of the things that I'm assuming there's like a group of things in column A. This is what you thought would go away or change. This is what you thought would change. And column B is what has changed. How do those not match up?
So before surgery, I thought like maybe like the only thing that would be a big difference for me is my sleep. But like I said, my sensory issues are gone. I'm like overall very happy. Like my depression, anxiety have like disappeared. Not that like I don't get anxious or sad, but like
Sure.
it's not so severe.
Right.
And like I'm just like happier with life. And I didn't really think that would have changed at all
Mm-hmm.
because like I honestly didn't realize how bad my quality of life before surgery was until I woke up after surgery and was like, wow, life is like really great. And like I'm not miserable 24/7.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I know it wasn't all roses because we talked and you were still in some pain and all,
yeah.
but just thinking about the cost of going through surgery and pain and generalized discomfort and all the stuff going around it. Uh, and I guess I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. You happy you did it?
Yeah. No regrets at all.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
do it again. I mean, it's not an easy surgery. I was miserable day 3, 4, and then traveling was miserable. Like it wasn't easy. I
Yeah.
still have like mild headaches and eye pain, but it's manageable and it'll go away. So
Yeah, and you're only 20 days out. So
yeah, yeah,
to be doing so well that quickly that's amazing. It's awesome. And
yeah,
it should just keep getting better and better.
Speaks to the benefit of youth.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Do you still have gravel in the back of your head?
it's kind of like it's like there's like dots.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
weird. Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah. We described it as gravel. Felt like gravel.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
there, gone, then it was there, then it was gone. So weird. Okay. Well, so what's next?
Finding my new normal, I guess. With like everything changing, um, like it's been great to relearn these things and like figure out like who I am and like what I like, stuff like that now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also very scary
Yeah.
because like I think like it can be overwhelming sometimes because like there's nothing that has stayed the same throughout all of this,
Hmm.
I guess. And it's not that that's a bad thing. It just can be a lot sometimes. And it's hard to describe to people how much has changed for me without them like actually going through it themselves or like
Right.
have experienced something similar. Um, but I mean, I'm recovering very well and I'm very fortunate to be like young and all of that stuff that's helped tremendously and just like having a support system around me during this time. So I'm very thankful, and it's not a bad thing. It just can be overwhelming.
Okay. So, what's your perspective on the future? How has this changed planning?
I feel like now I can actually like live my life and plan for like years down the road. While before I was like, well, what if I need surgery, or what if it goes wrong, or what if like this and that. So I was always trying to like rush things. And
Mhm.
now I feel like I can take my time. Like schooling doesn't seem so intimidating anymore because I'm
Great.
going to college and stuff, and I want to pursue a career eventually.
Mhm.
And that requires education. So like now, like something like that, where I've always been like, what's the shortest option? Now I'm more like, okay, I have like more of an open mind to like plan ahead.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, what are you gonna go to school for?
I'm currently in community college, just getting gen eds, my associates, and then
Mhm.
I'm gonna transfer to university and try to go for speech pathology.
Okay. That's cool, going medical after being so involved in the medical community
Yeah.
at such a young age.
Yeah.
They didn't run you off entirely. That's great.
Yeah.
If you could kind of think about the way that your parents interacted with you previously and the way that they interact with you now, have you noticed a difference?
Yes.
What's that
Yeah.
like?
Before surgery, I feel like people tiptoed around me and kind of like, I don't know. My brother compared me to Wednesday Adams before surgery, and now I'm like a completely changed person. Like
Huh?
I make jokes, I'm happy, I'm involved. So I think like even just talking to my mom, like we've gotten a lot closer just from doing this together. And like it's not like I'm not such like a Debbie Downer, I guess. So people want to talk to me more.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually interviewed our son last night for this podcast because he's 14 now, and um, it was really interesting hearing his perspective, and he was so eloquent in the way that he just kind of laid all this out, and there could be a subtitle to all this: symptomatic pineal cysts bringing families together. No, not in the way you want, but whatever works, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have what are your hobbies?
I like to play video games, do art, ceramics, pottery, stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Has this have you had the opportunity to do art since this?
I I've been wanting to do it, but I haven't run any
Okay.
of it out yet.
Yeah, I mean, art and self-expression. I would be curious to know when you do, what the final pieces look like now compared to what they look like before. I
Yeah,
just wonder what that's going to be like.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So definitely let us know and I'll just report it after somebody else's episode. So here's what we learned. And are you video gaming yet?
I tried, but I don't know. I
Might be
don't
a little
think I'm as
soon with the
interested.
eye thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really like I'll be on my phone, but I don't really watch TV or anything
Yeah.
because they said in the hospital that I could, and I tried, and it was so painful,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
painful. So
Yeah. That took Kelly a while.
Hmm.
To be able to do screens, and then she had other stuff that took a few months,
mhm.
many months to really fully resolve. It was an entire year, but my gosh, 20 days. Here we are.
Yeah,
We're just
it's crazy.
That's great. Um, how about mom? Is mom around?
Yeah, mom was right.
Oh, sweet.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Good. Good. I'm doing really good.
So tell us your perspective of daughter before, daughter now. What's that like?
I'll probably cry because I'm just so happy for her. And I think as the caregiver, I knew something was wrong. I knew that my daughter was not herself. I would tell doctors that they would either say, well, it's mental health, put her on medication. They would say, no, it's not the cyst. But in my gut, none of it made sense. She couldn't sleep. We did the sleep study. I know we kind of talked about it already. So it's just like a relief that it's like behind us now. Like, I know we're good now, like it's just, I'm just so happy for her. Like, I have my daughter back.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
think I've cried more since the surgery than before, and that was a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, tears of joy feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, but I am super happy for her, and there's a huge difference. It's even, I knew, and I was reading stories from like our Facebook group, and I knew people were saying, oh, I feel so much better, or this changed for me, or that changed for me. But then when you sit back and you kind of analyze your own situation, I don't know if I was hoping, but I don't know if deep down I really thought all that has changed would change. And then there's been the surprises. Like, she was diagnosed with sensory issues as a toddler.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that wasn't something in the recent years. And to see like that has changed, like that's just crazy to me. So that's been like a pleasant surprise too. So yeah, it's just really, really good.
So
That's awesome. Uh, we were talking to another person about how she felt like she also, you said you got your daughter back, and she described it like, yeah, it was like I was trapped. I was deep down in there and I was trapped. And then after surgery, it's like the real her finally got to shine through. And that's amazing. All of the things that have changed for the better and in only 20 days.
Well, yeah, and you can even see it in her face. Like when she
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
talks, like that sparkle is back in her eye, that like you can see, like she didn't have that before. Almost kind of like a just dead stare.
Oh my
She
God.
would just talk to you like she said her brother about Wednesday Addams. Like she would just
Mhm.
talk, answer in short, no, yes. Just exactly say what she needed to say to answer a question, and that was it. Where
Mhm.
now she's just, you can just see it in her face.
Willing
That
to
like,
elaborate.
yeah, that
Yeah.
glow is back. Like it's just
Awesome.
wonderful.
Yeah. So
Wow.
do you think that she may have had minor symptoms of this 17 years ago, and that because you said there was such a for since she was a toddler, and now that thing has changed. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what's fascinating to me is, so when she was about 3 or 4, she was diagnosed with epilepsy.
Uh-huh.
And I was always told that her brain never mirrored itself. So each side's supposed to mirror itself. And then there was a short period of time where we weren't doing yearly MRIs, and there was an abnormal spot. But they just thought it was that. And then where this came into part, and I don't know the exact, I would probably have to ask Dr. Patel to explain it further, but this is like the area to which they saw that abnormality all those years, or where
Mhm.
they thought didn't. So to me, I feel, and I'm no medical professional, but I
Right.
feel that there was something brewing there way before this was ever picked up on an MRI. So now looking back, I have to say yes, that this was probably all stemming or boiling up to this point, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, do I think her epilepsy? I don't know if I necessarily think those two are tied together, but who's to say at this point? I mean, I'm leaving everything like up to we'll see what happens now because
Mhm.
it's just been it's better than I even expected.
That is that's just so cool to hear. That
Yeah.
is so cool. If there, through this experience, is if you were in the room with a tumor board who was deciding this next patient doesn't get the surgery because it's too dangerous, what would you tell them?
Doctors, all doctors, need to start looking at the brain more as an organ like we look at the rest of our body. I really do. So if somebody goes into an office or somebody goes in and says, my behavior has changed, or I'm not feeling good, or I'm depressed, automatically they just slap them with a pill. But
Mhm.
why are we not looking at people's brains like we do mammograms every year and we do colonoscopies every 5 years? Why is nobody really kind of paying attention to the brain anymore? So I think that's first and foremost. But if somebody does have this, I think looking at the stories, looking at the success, like Emily, Kelly, the people who are proving over and over again that there are symptoms to this,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
they have to do something because there is a quality of life. I mean, granted, Emily was 19 and there are people living out there with more symptoms or debilitating, things, but it's still quality of somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, I I don't know what I would say, but I would definitely bring my daughter.
By the way, what you said about her whole face has changed and
Yes.
her eyes and stuff, that I was sitting here like, wow, like jaw on the floor because we were just talking last night with our son and he was explaining to me how he always knew when I was in an episode because my face changed
Uh-huh.
and my eyes, and I did the blank stare. I did all of that. And he said even like when I first woke up from surgery, he could tell just by the change in my face that something had changed, and it just got better and better. But that
Yes.
is something that we have in common, and very interesting how that works, but
Yes.
yeah, a complete change. It's like you're finally back and you're in control of your own body, and there's something about it that you can just see that light again in your
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, he told us that he would have nightmares about that face,
yeah.
about the
I
Really?
didn't
yeah.
know about that until
Neither of us
last
knew
night.
until last
Yeah,
night that that was a thing.
that
So,
broke my heart. Poor kid.
Wow.
all
Yeah.
right. This is just going so well. This episode's going to be like the shortest one that we have,
Yeah.
So which baseball teams do you follow? I'm joking.
And here's another thing that I wish people trust their guts and advocate for your health.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Because if I would have listened to two different neurosurgeons, this surgery would have never been done. I would have never seeked out Dr. Patel. I would have never, we have to advocate. And I don't know if I would have, or somebody else would have done something like that. Or people are, there was a little bit of me like before surgery that I thought, oh my gosh, if something goes wrong, I feel like it's on me. I'm going to be carrying this because I found Dr. Patel, we went to go see him, and all these other doctors are saying, don't do it, don't do it. No, that's not it. That's not it. And I'm like in my gut, but I do think we have to advocate for our health.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
yes. And unfortunately, in this area, that advocacy takes so much time and effort and strain, and it's it's incredibly difficult to do. I mean,
It
it's
is.
lucky few who have
Mhm.
gotten to the other side at this point. Of course, that's the point of the podcast, is to
Right.
make that number larger. But
Right. And hopefully more doctors will see this and hear this and do this. But Dr. Patel is a godsend. He is a wonderful man. And I will probably say to the day he saved Emily's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's what
saved
we
her life.
say.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
We feel the same about Kelly, and we keep hearing that from people over and over again that
Mhm.
Yeah.
it changed everything. It made it all better, made the bad things go away. It's
Yes.
just, and again, this is not a commercial for the Medical University of South Carolina. We just happen to be fans of Dr. Patel.
We
There's
are
a
huge
medical
fans.
disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. So,
Right. And
I'm a
hopefully
huge fan.
other hospitals will learn,
Yes.
you know, and be able to provide help because that's so needed. He's
Yes.
only one person and there's not and there's not enough doctor to go around,
yeah.
you know.
Well,
So,
right. And we should not have to go out of state or have to do stuff like that.
right.
We live in Illinois. We're not that far from Chicago. Chicago's a remarkable city for doctors and hospitals. And here I still had to go to South Carolina. So
Mhm.
it shouldn't be that way. And for the people who can't, what do? If they can't get to South Carolina or can't get to see Dr. Patel, so it does need to be everywhere.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that financial burden is of having to travel so
Yeah.
far is, does stop a lot of people. And
Right.
we've talked to people whose insurance won't accept them going to Musk.
Well, we
So,
spoke with a Canadian woman who went out of pocket, sold her own medical practice, and
yeah.
went, sold everything to pay for this out of pocket.
Mhm.
But it's
But it was worth it to her, she
absolutely
said, and
worth it.
she
Yeah,
would have done it again. But yeah, all out of pocket.
because
And we are truly thankful for the two of you. I really believe the way it happened the night before, Kelly, you brought such calmness to Emily talking to you the night before surgery. I will always be forever grateful to that because
Oh,
it just happened at the right. I just feel like it was meant to be. God put you there at that moment, and it really brought a lot of calmness to her.
I thank you for telling me that. I love
Yes.
that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
So, but yeah, we were happy to be part of this, and I hope this brings a lot of great stuff for people.
I hope so. Yeah, we mentioned in earlier episodes that there were the people specializing in this, and I really have to stress that because there have been reports of several surgeons around the world who have done this surgery, but they do it under kind of the extreme circumstances or what they consider extreme, and that line is very blurry. But a few select people have been able to get this surgery elsewhere, but globally when we went, there were 4 people specializing in this, meaning they knew where the line should actually be, whereas the rest of the medical community did not. I really having a tough time wrapping my head around that because it for this to be treated like it is some way out there, unnecessary, crazy thing that only a couple of, these doctors are doing. We got to stop that. We've got to figure out how to get this and the research and well, whatever else we can throw at them in front of those people who made that ridiculous decision.
100%. I remember one of the doctors here, and I know he has performed that surgery, but he would not do it until it became life threatening and it was cutting off her cerebral spinal fluid. And I'm like, why do we have to wait till we get to that point? Like, it was insane to me to tell me as a mother that we're going to sit and watch my kid deteriorate and then we'll do something. Like, that's just, I don't know why we have to have it so extreme when she's living proof right now that it's wonderful. It worked. It helped her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have a lot of uphill in front of us. That's what we have. A lot. Okay. Well, all right. What else do y'all want to throw out there? Anything?
Oh, hold on.
Mhm.
Got a little list. I came prepared.
Perfect.
I want to hit on how it's truly changed every part of my life. And like it's truly impacted like how I even function on a day to day. Like before surgery, my quality of life was so bad and you don't realize it when you're in it. And I feel like more people like need to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like there is hope because like my life before this, I was so depressed. Like I was so depressed.
And no motivation.
No motivation. Like I was just surviving. And I didn't realize it until after surgery how bad it really was. And I want people to know that like it will get better. It can get better. Like this whole journey, like it hasn't been easy in the slightest, but I would do it over and over again because it's so worth your time and energy to help yourself. Like no one should have to like give up or anything like that because they feel like they don't deserve it or they feel that they can just manage. You shouldn't have to manage being alive. You should enjoy it. Like for me, I thought it was normal for everybody to be miserable and just surviving day to day. I just thought everyone does that and you just smile about it, I guess.
Mm.
But like you can actually like have a good life and everybody deserves a good quality of life. So like I don't want people thinking like it's like it might be normal for them, but it shouldn't have to be, you know?
Mhm.
There's been people who have reached out to me through Facebook, through the Pineal cyst group, and they are just like asking questions about everything and like, was it worth it to you? And like, does the risks like, should I be really that afraid or should I reconsider it and stuff?
Mhm.
And it's not like that not everybody should get the surgery. I realize that. Like some cases like you might like there are risks involved, but I feel like if you think even the slightest bit of improvement would be life changing for you, then it's worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it for the list?
Yeah.
All right. You know what? We're going to wrap this one because, all good news except for some pain a few days out, which everyone has.
Yeah.
We absolutely will continue stressing. It's brain surgery. Nobody wants an unnecessary one, but we just got to
Yeah.
redefine necessary. And that's what this journey is all about, is getting the medical community to recognize there's more to it than breathing. So
And thank
we-
you, Emily, so much.
yeah, I really appreciate you.
You
It's
and
really
your
cool what
mom.
you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us again, and hope to see you next week. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for listening to this episode of Pineal Stories, where patient voices matter and real stories have the power to drive change. If you or someone you love is living with a symptomatic pineal cyst, know that you are not alone. Our community is growing, and your experience matters. Share your story, connect with others, and help us push the medical conversation forward. Visit pinealstories.com to explore more stories, submit your own, and stay connected. And if you found this episode meaningful, please consider leaving a review and sharing it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay strong, stay informed, and keep speaking up. This is Michael Abels with my wife Kelly, and you've been listening to Pineal Stories. Thanks, y'all.